Think about a time you needed to, show up confidently. Maybe walking into a room, starting a presentation, or even just giving your opinion in a meeting.
Yeah, happens all the time.
Right. Now imagine you're getting on a boat. If the captain comes out, looks all flustered, talks hesitantly, maybe fidgets a bit. How do you feel about the trip?
A little nervous, probably. Yeah, bit on edge.
Exactly. But then picture a different captain. Stands tall, speaks clearly, just seems calm, in control. Instantly you feel better, right? More secure.
Good analogy.
Well, the idea is in your own life, you're often the captain.
That immediate feeling we get from someone, that sense of confidence or the lack of it, it's really powerful. And yeah, in any communication, you are the one setting the tone. You're the captain.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. Our mission really is to pull out some practical, actionable ways to appear more confident and maybe even start feeling it more,
Right.
even if inside you're not quite there yet.
Right. Fake it till you make it, but with actual techniques.
Sort of. We're drawing on work by Montana von Fliss. She's coached, thousands of people, new hires right up to Fortune 500 CEOs. They all want to figure out how to show up with that, confidence.
And for you listening, if you want to get this knowledge quickly, get the core ideas without getting buried in detail. Well, this is kind of your shortcut.
Yeah.
We're boiling it down to help you project confidence, whether you're prepping for a big meeting, trying to catch up in a new area, or just curious about how this stuff works.
Okay, so let's go back to those two captains. Let's unpack that.
Yeah.
What were the specific things that made them seem different? It wasn't just a vague feeling, was it?
No, not at all. Think about the concrete stuff. The first captain, maybe stammering a bit, lots of ums, perhaps sounding almost apologetic. And the body language probably matched, that shoulders slumped, maybe avoiding eye contact, just looked unsure.
Yeah, you can picture it.
Whereas the second captain,
Yeah.
clear, direct words, stating their role, and projecting control through how they stood, how they sounded.
Okay, but here's the really interesting part von Fliss brings up.
Yeah.
That captain who looks so confident, they might not have felt confident inside at all.
Ah, okay.
The key was they made choices about how they presented themselves. Physically, vocally, they were performing confidence using techniques.
That's a crucial difference. We tend to think confidence on the outside has to come from feeling fearless inside.
Right.
But what von Fliss is saying is you can actually start building that inner feeling by doing the things confident people do. Act the part, basically. And how others react to that can actually start to change how you feel. It's a feedback loop.
Okay, so what are some of these choices, these confidence techniques? Let's get into tip number 1. Turn up the energy and speak up.
Right. And this doesn't mean, shouting or suddenly being hyper.
Right.
It's more subtle, but noticeable. Von Fliss uses this 1 to 10 energy scale. Like level 3 might be our nervous captain, low energy, quiet, maybe mumbling. The goal is maybe a level 5. You can probably hear it, even in how we're talking now. It just signals, preparedness, positivity, confidence. It's a slight lift in volume in overall energy. It says, I'm here, I've got something valuable.
Yeah, you can definitely hear the difference. It's more engaging, less monotone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That bit of resonance makes a huge difference.
Okay, that makes sense. So tip 2, pause, like a boss. This is the big one, I think. That urge to fill every single silence.
Oh, yeah. We rush. We throw in likes and ums because silence feels awkward, maybe. Like we'll lose people's attention if we stop talking. But von Fliss points out, talking super slowly isn't the answer either. It's about strategic pausing. Using silence purposefully, like punctuation for your speech.
Okay, so strategic. Where do we use these pauses? Why?
Well, 2 main places. One is for transitions. You finish an idea, pause for a beat, let the audience digest it, then move to the next point.
Right, gives people a second to catch up.
Exactly. And the second is for emphasis. Pause right before, or maybe right after, a really key statement. It makes that point land harder, draws attention to it. Silence can actually be more powerful than just rambling on.
Pause like a boss. I like it. Okay, tip 3, the superhero stance. Sounds a bit fun, but there's real psychology here, right? Body language matters.
It absolutely does. It's about consciously adopting postures we associate with confidence. Think about superheroes. They stand tall, open, take up space. Von Fliss says even small tweaks help. Sitting or standing straighter, maybe a slight natural smile, making better eye contact, Our posture really does affect how people see us and maybe even how we feel.
And the idea isn't that you suddenly feel like Superman, but you're making the shape of a confident person. Why does that work?
Because your audience can only see what's on the outside. Can't read your mind, right? They don't know if your stomach is doing flips.
Sure.
So if you present yourself visually in a way that says confidence, open posture, engaged, look personally, they'll likely read you as confident. Think about hosting a dinner party.
Okay.
If you're slumped in a chair looking bored when guests arrive,
Yeah.
very different message than standing by the door, upright, smiling, welcoming them in.
Yeah, that analogy really works. Okay, and the tip about videoing yourself. I can see people cringing at that idea.
Oh, for sure. It feels awkward, but it's incredibly useful feedback. You get to see yourself as others see you. Notice little habits, fidgeting maybe, or looking down that might undermine your message. It's a chance to adjust things in private before you're in front of the real audience. Better to feel awkward watching yourself than in the actual meeting, right?
Good point. All right, tip number 4. Practice with purpose. Seems obvious. Maybe practice helps. But Von Fliss gets more specific than just, reading your notes.
Way more specific. It's about treating it like practicing for a concert or a game. You need structure. She suggests making a rehearsal schedule. Set goals for each practice session. Maybe, like you said, focus on one technique per day.
Layering it in.
Yeah. And doing full run-throughs, especially the week before, is key. Simulate the real thing as much as possible.
But what if you're swamped? Like, 0 time for full run-throughs.
Even short focus bursts help. Von Fliss suggests practicing just the opening and the closing bits over and over. Maybe in the shower, walking the dog, whatever. Nail those key moments.
Okay.
And she also warns against sounding robotic from over-practicing. Using bullet points instead of a full script helps keep it fresh. Lets you adapt a bit.
Right, so it doesn't sound memorized. And when she says practice, she means actually doing it, right?
Yeah.
Standing up, speaking out loud.
Yes, absolutely. Standing up, saying the words out loud, picturing the audience, even using your slides if you have them, it needs to be active.
Got it. It's physical and vocal, not just mental. Builds muscle memory.
Exactly. Rehearsing it like the real event makes you way less likely to get thrown off by nerves when it actually happens.
Okay, now for tip 5. The one Von Fliss calls the real gem, the silent sentence. This shifts things inward to our self-talk. And it's interesting because she talks about having pretty bad stage fright herself, even though she loves performing.
Yeah, she mentions those unhelpful voices in her head and trying to just squash them down didn't work.
Right.
The big shift for her came when she changed her focus, moved it away from her own fear and onto her purpose while she was there, which was, wanting to genuinely help the audience.
And that led to her first silent sentence, which was,
I want to help my audience to the best of my ability. Simple, but powerful.
and she calls this an override switch for the negative self-talk. How does that work practically?
Well, even if you still feel the physical nerves, heart racing, shaky hands, whatever, having that clear, positive intention becomes your main focus. It gives you a stronger goal to latch onto. It kind of redirects your brain away from the fear and towards the purpose.
Okay. And her sentence evolved later, didn't it? To something like, I invite you to be here with me while I am here with you so that I can make this easier for you. That sounds deep.
It is. There are layers there. The first part, I invite you, meaning herself, to be here with me. That's about being fully present, real stage presence. And the second part, while I am here with you so that I can make this easier for you, that's inviting the audience in, seeing them as partners, not judges, friends, not foes. It changes the whole dynamic, makes it feel less intimidating.
So how do we find our own silent sentence? What should we ask ourselves?
Von Fliss says, ask, what do I really want here? What's my deeper reason for doing this? It could be broad, like wanting to share something exciting, or specific, like wanting someone to say, sign up for a CPR class after your talk.
Right.
It's about connecting with that core motivation. Why do you care?
And it's crucial to remember this isn't about eliminating nerves completely. Von Fliss herself says she still gets jitters.
Exactly. It's not magic. It's a tool, a mental anchor. When those anxious thoughts pop up, you notice them, and then you consciously pivot back to your silent sentence. It's like an internal course correction.
And just like posture or pausing, you have to practice this too, right? It's not a one and done thing.
Absolutely. You need to rehearse it, integrate it into your prep, say it silently, then say your opening line out loud, repeat, make it automatic so it's there when the pressure's on.
This has been really useful.
Yeah.
Before we wrap, Von Fliss has some final encouragement, acknowledging that, trying this stuff Might feel weird at first.
Totally normal. Anything new feels awkward. But she brings it back to the captains. Remember how unsettled the nervous captain made you feel?
Yeah.
And how relieved and safe the confident one made you feel? By choosing these confident actions, you're essentially offering that feeling, that safety, that reassurance to your audience. It's a kind of gift.
Changing the focus from how do I feel to how am I making them feel? That's a big shift.
Yeah.
Okay, so quick recap. The 5 big tips for showing up confidently. 1, turn up your energy, speak up a bit. 2, use pauses strategically like a boss. 3, adopt that confident posture in the superhero stance. 4, practice with real purpose. And 5, find and use your silent sentence.
And the key takeaway is that these are all choices, things you can actively do no matter how you're feeling inside at that moment. You're taking control of how you come across.
Right. So here's a final thought for you, the listener. Think about one situation coming up, could be small, could be big. Pick just one of these techniques to consciously try out.
Just one.
See what happens. Notice how others react, sure, but also notice how you feel. It's an experiment, really, a way to start exploring your own ability to project confidence. Thanks for diving in with us today.